This is Joe Castiglione, and you're listening to Not Another Sox Podcast. Can you believe it?
Buenos noches, amigos, and welcome to another episode of Not Another Sox Podcast. I am Jack Webster here with our producer, Ian Doran, as always, coming at you live from Providence, Rhode Island. Fellas, we lost our first series in like 2 weeks.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, you know, it was bound to happen. Things were going well for us, facing a good team. Had a close one in there, had a blowout from each side, so that's just baseball, really. Like, I'm not feeling really too bad right now.
Consider me your Red Sox therapist. How do you feel about the Red Sox going 3 for 6 this week?
Yeah, you know, if you told me we went 3 for 6, I would be like, yeah, that happens. I mean, it would probably be the way that I would expect it. Like, oh, yeah, we took 2 out of 3 from the Royals, and then we lost 2 out of 3 from the Padres. And there was a winnable game or two in there, blew another one. So, you know, we're still very much in a wild card spot and still in the hunt for the division even. So it's hard to complain too much, but yeah, not ideal at the end of the day.
When you talk about how you feel, do you feel like there's anything you could have done to prevent this outcome?
Yeah, we could have traded Jarren Duran to the Padres.
And get what in return?
We could have gotten Dylan Cease, that first base or the shortstop prospect that they ended up trading for Mason Miller. But
is that what you would have wanted?
Yeah, I think so. But just to at least get Sadon in center field.
Well, as your Red Sox therapist, the problem is your mother.
It usually is
diagnosed. Yeah. Or your father, Father Henry.
No.
Was he kind of absent this year during your development? Father Henry?
No, he was there for me this year, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What about Uncle Brez? Did he touch you?
He's, no. Oh, God.
Oh, okay.
Oh, man,
it's
it's all coming back.
Just making sure.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
Yeah.
3 for 6 this week. We were hoping to go 4 for 6. Would have felt better about, our schedule because it's going to get easier after our next series. But 2 out of 3 from the Royals and then 1 out of 3 from the Padres for our 3 for 6. We beat the Royals in our series this week. That felt pretty good. And we also made the Royals look pretty bad.
Yeah, no, that series, just will be remembered as the series we extended Roman Anthony in. And obviously we had our, emergency episode during that game, too. And then we had the off day on Thursday. So, it already feels like so long ago at this point. We do these every week, and obviously it's usually like a 5-6 day gap between some of the games already. But this one felt longer away than most other Monday games that we report on for some reason. I think because of the extension.
I was gonna say because we had that exciting episode in the middle where again Breslow, without telling anyone what he was doing, like the G in lasagna. Signed Roman Anthony to that extension, which we're still psyched about. And Roman Anthony paid us back by playing a pretty great week of baseball, which he was doing already, but always nice to see a positive reaction to that. And Christian Campbell did it too, and Garrett Crochet did it too, and they got their extensions. So I wanted to recognize the trade pieces that we beat. What the hell is your dog doing, dude?
He is in full force tonight.
Hi, Peter.
Hi, Petey.
Hey,
this is why you got to watch on the stream, because you get this exclusive content here.
The exclusive content of your dog doing a half rotation or something? I don't know.
Yeah, just trying to rotate.
Get rotated.
And
fully
he's doing
rotated.
it again.
He's rubbing his butt in you, dude.
Yep.
He loves his dad.
Yep.
He's probably like, hey, Dad. You're my dad.
It's been a while since you've been annoying on the stream. So.
It's been 1 week. So anyway, we made the Royals, who were buyers at the deadline, trade pieces look bad. Like Bailey Falter, we beat the crap out of.
Yeah, we did. we are better than the Royals.
What?
Like I don't know why they ended up buying so much at the deadline, because they're not even in a wild card spot. I mean, it's not the toughest division in the world, obviously. Detroit's looking pretty good this year, but other than that, like, you know, there's it seems like an open door, but I think their playoff chances still weren't high enough to like justify like kind of the like just, you know, marginal moves like Mike Yastrzemski and like Bailey Falter, and then you lose Bubic just from injury and everything, and then you extend Seth Lugo, so just like kind of...
You forgot the biggest move they made. As of this week, they signed Bobby Dahlbeck to a minor league deal.
Oh, they did sign Bobby Dahlbeck to a minor league deal. That is correct.
You should be ashamed.
Yeah.
I hope they're okay. Well, they have Schreiber over there now, Waka, Dahlbeck.
Yeah.
Who else did we give them?
I don't think we gave anybody else on their team as former ones, so yeah.
Sure. I'm sad about that Seth Lugo extension. I would have loved to take a look at him in the offseason or even at the trade deadline.
I think we were on mute there by accident, so...
Were we really?
Yeah, so that great audio. Thank you, Petey.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
well, I'll just go through and edit that out or edit it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, what if we dub over it?
Oh, man, that would be perfect.
Dub. But yeah, I don't know why the Royals bought at the deadline. We were in a better position than them at the deadline. Obviously, that's kind of our fault. We were shooting for the moon, and we also did not land amongst the stars. It was all bad. But the first game, at the very least, and the second game, we made him look real silly. Duran with that 3-run homer in the first inning. He looks fucking back.
Yeah, no, he is back to being his 2024 self, it seems. Defense probably still not like as good as last year, but he's getting the extra base hits. He's being aggressive on the base paths, stealing more bags, and, you know, turning singles into doubles and doubles into triples, and, you know, hitting the ball over the fence a little bit more. So we've seen that WAR, you know, kind of spike over the last month now. So he's making, you know, the conversation about what you do in the offseason with the outfield, you know, consider it a little bit more. So yeah.
And Duran has a lot of value in that he also plays a Gold Glove caliber center field. It is.
There's a few plays this last week where I'm like, Sadon gets that, and Jared.
Yeah, which
not.
we're kind of spoiled in that regard
Yeah.
because Sadon is the Gold Glove center fielder.
Yeah, there's no need for anybody else not named Sadon Rafaela to play center field, unless if it's just like a rare off day for him.
Right, exactly. And the fact that he's super utility at second, like, stop moving him, but
Yeah.
he's shown a lot of really great athleticism at second, which is fine for the time being. The bat's cooling off a bit, so at a certain point, you got to discuss, do you put Sadon back in center? But Duran is playing so well in center, and the fact that the only person we look to is like he's not Sadon Rafaela just makes me feel better about what Duran does in center.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I mean, it's not like he's going to hurt you too much out there, apart from like maybe a few plays here and there, but it obviously we play better when he's doing well. So
Yeah.
He can definitely be a spark plug for us.
Yeah, and in that same game, last minute scratch, speaking of the outfielders, of Abreu over Roman Anthony. It was just, I think it was mid-back tightness.
Yeah, nothing serious. People were trying to make a big deal out of it. There was like some caller on like WEI or 98.5 the Sports Hub, and they're like, "Oh, I saw him out drinking the night before. He was just hungover." And it turns out, you know, his back actually was hurting, and you know, it turns out he was also discussing a $130 million contract without anybody knowing. But you get Wilyer Abreu in that game, and he just, you know, against all lefties that game, he went 2 for 3 with a walk, and the one out that he made would have been a home run in like 14 ballparks. So just to see him, you know, develop against lefties, especially last minute like that, I think, you know, goes a lot towards is, full-time playing time and making him less of a platoon player and more of like an everyday type of like, hey, I can still have productive outs against lefties, and you see what I do in right field every single night, just like being Gold Glover out there again.
Bullet for an arm too.
Yeah, exactly. He essentially saved that game in the 8th inning once it started to kind of get a little bit closer. Thank you, Alcala, but not at all.
Rip.
Yep, rest in peace. Enjoy the Cardinals. I will probably totally forget about you.
Well, I do want to talk about that, but I first want to ask if you were listening to, the Sports Hub and someone got on the radio and they said, I saw Roman Anthony drinking. Is it legal to lie on the media for attention?
Yeah, and also he's 21, a millionaire. And, and extremely handsome. Like,
What?
Yeah.
What? Do you think he's handsome?
Yeah, very handsome.
I've been told I look like Roman Anthony.
No, you haven't.
Just bigger penis.
No, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, they've told me that. They have. Yeah. But then anyway, Alcala. Bad. That was really bad.
When you consistently are put in, he got kind of moved to a low leverage role, which is fine because somebody's got to pitch those innings, and there's a lot of guys that have been doing well on our team too. So, you kind of earn your spots there, but when you start like consistently in like 3 outings, turn like kind of a blowout game close enough to where you have to use a Aroldis Chapman and bring in Garrett Whitlock and like actually use those guys and make them unavailable for maybe the next night or after that, that's when it's like, what are we doing here? What is your actual purpose? So I was not surprised that they moved him. Seems like Isaiah Campbell's whatever too, and they're hoping just to bridge the gap until when Slayton's back and you're calling up dudes from Worcester. So I'll remember Alcala's like first 10 outings where he was great and then kind of pooped the bed after that.
Yeah, he had some really great stuff, right? Like he could throw 100, he had a nasty curveball, but obviously we saw in multiple scenarios they moved him to a low leverage role and he blew that low leverage into a save situation. Just shows that he was still struggling with that control. We got a lot of great stuff out of him when he was riding high, but DFA was justified. I'm not going to miss him. He seems like an excellent fit for the Cardinals just based on his stuff, and I hope he flourishes in St. Louis when he is not playing against us.
Yeah, well, we already faced them this year, so doubt we're going to see them in the playoffs and World Series again.
Yeah,
because
not even next year.
Yeah. Well, we'll see whatever happens to them.
You don't think Cardinals are going to the playoffs?
No.
Because they're not good?
Yeah, because they're not good and already in a bad division and still not doing good.
Does Blaze Jordan mean nothing to you?
Yes, he means nothing to me.
Oh, no. Bummer. We had another great game against the Royals and then another not great game against the Royals. We had Garrett Crochet go for 7 innings, 2 runs, 8 Ks. Question, is that good?
Yeah, that's pretty good. You might argue that he is the best this year even.
Okay. Why would you argue that? Isn't that just a statement of fact?
Yeah, I know, but like, just because things are true doesn't mean people don't argue them nowadays. But yeah, I think we are actually having like a real conversation of like who deserves the Cy Young Award right now, since Skubal got off to a great start and he's had a few kind of meh starts in there. So like the war is within one, so I don't really care about like what it is at the end of the day. But when you have Crochet now leading an ERA and strikeouts, and I don't care about wins or anything like that, but like when he's actually leading a lot of these like big name categories with everything, I think that's when like you're really gonna start to be like, hey, like this is like a legitimate like a case here for him to actually win. So we'll see what happens down the stretch next 2 months. I think they do want to try to get Crochet some few days where Tarek Skubal, they're probably just letting him go out, throw 200 innings. So
yeah,
I think it'll be a lot more. I think it'll be a lot closer than people realize.
I think so. If you were to ask me today, obviously I'm super biased. Who gets the Cy Young? I mean, I give it to Crochet based on the strikeout numbers, and the ERA is great. His body of work clearly demonstrates he's an excellent player, but the strikeout numbers, just like cutting the snake off at the head, batters aren't getting to first base. That, to me, is what signals the reason Garrett Crochet should get the Cy Young today. But we still have, about a month and a half, 2 months of baseball to go, and hopefully longer, TBD. But Scooble is kind of all that the Tigers have.
Yeah, no, I mean, they are pretty good.
Which is
really
insane because they're so good, right?
I know, and it's not the best division either, but he really is like just gonna earn $1 bajillion, and I don't think it's gonna be with the Tigers. So we'll see what happens the year after next, since he will be the crowned prize. And you know what? A lot of people saw like what Scooble did before last season. Or before, like, he was like that All-Star Cy Young Award winner, and a lot of people said the same thing that was going to happen with Garrett Crochet. Sure enough, it did. So when you have somebody of just like that caliber and magnitude, like it feels good to just have an ace again.
Yeah, I mean, same thing happened with Chris Sale, right? He was primarily a reliever in Chicago, and then began starting, came over to us, and Chris Sale was Chris Sale when we needed Chris Sale, and now Garrett Crochet is being Garrett Crochet when we need Garrett Crochet.
Yeah, but the difference is you have Crochet for like his late 20s and early 30s, where like a lot of these other aces, you're getting them in their 30s to late 30s. So this you paid him for what he's gonna be, and so far he's lived up to that and then some by leaps and bounds.
Yeah. Even. Speaking of aces, the following day was aces Dustin May and Jordan Hicks. The dynamic duo. The Wonder Twins.
Yeah. The two of the biggest acquisitions we had. Two out of the three acquisitions that we've made this season. Yep. Actually, technically, we did trade for Alcala. Like, that wasn't a DFA pickup. So, like, they just traded him to us.
Yeah. How have all those acquisitions worked out? I'm sorry, one more time? There it is. I'm not judging Dustin May on the Red Sox based on this one start. Obviously, it was not very encouraging. I am judging Jordan Hicks based on his inability to find the fucking middle ground. Like, can you get the same body of work done every single time, or are you 1 inning, 3 strikeouts, or 1 inning, 3 runs? Like, what are you doing?
I know. The inconsistency is what's killed you, and it was in a spot where we were already losing. And, he's not earning that back-end thing or back-end role that I think the Red Sox envisioned for him. I think they wanted him to be the setup man behind Chapman, and I think they were expecting his stuff to play up a little bit more going back into the bullpen after, kind of being a starter or swing man or kind of like that. And it just, like you said, it's just been inconsistent since, like, there's been times where he came in and, like, inning 2/3 and he, like, was lights out, striking dudes out. And then there's other times where he just walks the bases loaded and, like, hangs a meatball over the middle of the plate and it's a 3-run homer. So at the end of the day, the average result is still pretty bad. So hope that you're paying him a whole lot of money, and you still have another 2 years after this. You're still paying him a whole lot of money for a reliever, like 11 or 12 million. Like, that's more than you're paying Chapman. That. I don't know why we did that. I don't know why we did that. Yeah.
No fucking idea. Which, frankly, at this point, we talked about a bit. You should sign Chapman to another year in Boston.
Yeah, I would even give him like a year with an option or something like that at this point. Like, I mean, he's still got it. Like, I mean, it's hard to say, you argue the age and everything, and you're not going to have to give him a lot of years. But yeah, I think that's something both sides would be interested in. Apparently, Chapman was just always a Red Sox fan for some reason, maybe because of El Tiante, or who knows why, but I could see him wanting to stay. Obviously, he's going to command a lot of money in the offseason, and the Red Sox have a lot of money.
You know who else was always a Red Sox fan?
Juan Soto. Chapman is still a piece of shit. I still have to say that every time I'm in.
Yeah, of course. Juan Soto was a Red Sox fan.
He was, yeah, but that's also, $50 million in difference. So.
Yeah, you know who lived in Massachusetts and was not a Red Sox fan? Ben Rice.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
This is the first time I'm hearing about this.
Oh, really? First time ever? Then
Yeah.
this is going to blow your mind. Lucas Giolito's family, Hollywood actors. All
Wow,
of them.
don't tell me his grandpa was on Seinfeld.
Are you sitting down?
I
Are
clearly
you fucking
am.
sitting
Yeah.
down for this? They were on Seinfeld.
Wow, I can't
Whoa.
believe it.
Yeah.
I've never heard this before.
Yeah. Guess who they were?
Danny Jansen's parents.
And Danny Jansen, the only player to play for two teams in the same game.
Is his dad also Mr. Canada?
Are you sitting down?
No, man.
Are you sitting
Yeah.
down again?
Still sitting, yeah.
A carpenter.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah. And then he broke his back after John Henry hit him with the first Cybertruck.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, great piece of NASP lore for all our fans who've been with us since then and who are listening. The story is that John Henry hit Cam Boozer with the first ever Tesla Cybertruck so he could get Cam Boozer on a deal.
OGs remember.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Yeah.
This is not ads yet. This is me riffing. But when you talk about guys who are average that get results, we did lose that third game. Winning pitcher was Michael Wacha with 6 innings pitched, 2 runs, 3 Ks. I mean, Wacha is still showing consistently getting outs. Like,
I know.
even being a very average pitcher, gets outs.
I remember when he was on our team, and I didn't think too much. He kept us in games. He was, like a low 4, high 3 ERA guy most of the time. Like, never really struck out a lot of dudes on a pretty forgettable team. I forget if it was 22 or 23 even. So, like, when he left and, like, started to do well, I just laughed. I was like, okay, whatever. I don't care. I just truly forget that he was, like, on our team at one point for, like, 1 year.
Yeah, I kind of liked him for us, especially in the second half of whatever year it was, because I also forget.
Yeah, it I think the other half was it was a completely forgettable season. Let's say Red Sox make the playoffs and he's our third or fourth starter. I probably remember him a lot more fondly. But yeah, that didn't happen.
Nope, did not. So yeah, Wacha came out and he just got outs, and I mean Bueller did well with that this week. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but I mean just a lot of value in pitchers who get outs, like strikeouts or not. Pitchers who get outs, those are the pitchers you want to hire. So Wacha very average and put us to bed. Very sad.
Yeah, if you told me that was the one game we would lose that series, I'd be like, yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Like,
also, Dustin May versus Michael Wacha, these ladies having a mid-off.
Yeah, I'm not gonna freak out about Dustin May quite yet, obviously.
Yep.
I think a lot of people, I feel like a lot of people almost wanted him to do bad so that way they could point at the trade deadline and just be like, I told you so. I would rather still have him do good.
Yeah. Two things can be true. You can do bad at the trade deadline and Dustin May can be good.
Exactly. Like, I don't care about the return we gave up, like I've said before, but, in terms of, like, our guys wanting to do good, like, I always want that, just about, so, except for, like, Matt Dermody, so.
Yeah. May he rip in hell.
Yeah, pretty much. So, I forgot where I was already going with this anyways. Dustin May.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to say you were talking about Matt Dermody being a huge piece of shit.
Yeah, he is a huge piece of shit.
Dustin May, you were saying.
Yeah, Dustin May, we'll see over the next few starts. I believe he is going to be going against the Astros this week, so another tough opponent.
Yep.
And,
Tough?
Yeah, but not
Really?
for us.
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
Yankees, they're pretty tough, but...
Well, yeah, for the Yankees, apparently the Marlins and my cousin's Little League team were pretty tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bednar couldn't get those 3 outs.
Nope.
Yep, neither could Duvall.
Or Devin Williams. Or Devin Williams could be, like,
speaking
the worst
about
reliever
guys
this
who
year,
can rip in peace, Devin Williams fell
What if we
from
sign him to a
grace.
1-year deal and he ends up, like, being his old self for us again, and we get him for a steal, like, on a pillow contract?
That would be so funny. I'm thinking of the scene in Moneyball when they're doing the trade deadline, and he goes, I'm going to buy him this year with the $500 out of my pocket, but when I sell him back next year, I'm keeping the money.
That's pretty much what it would be, yeah.
Yeah, if we got Devin Williams for 1 year, fixed him, sold him for twice what he was worth. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The Yankees changed their whole facial hair policy for this dude just for him to have, like, a 6 ERA.
Yeah. which is
hilarious. So funny.
and wild, because look at what happened to Alex Verdugo when they took off the facial hair.
Yeah, and Gleyber Torres having like a renaissance season in Detroit with his beard and everything. Like Carlos Rodon sucks with the beard again. So yeah, very funny stuff.
Would it be even funnier if after this year the Yankees put it back?
Yeah, they really should. Like, they should be like, if the Yankees don't make the playoffs, I think they do bring back the rule.
That would be so funny.
Yeah, they're like, none of this nonsense ever again.
From a management perspective, do you think that they got rid of their super duper long outdated bullshit rule because guys weren't signing with them based on the facial hair policy?
There's probably only a few guys that like didn't actually sign with them at the end of the day because of it, but I think they got rid of it just because guys didn't like it on their own team. So like there's something to be said about like feeling comfortable in yourself like at work. Not for Devin Williams.
Yeah,
but
no.
not for these individuals, but for like everybody else. So it was always a stupid rule, but it is funny that it is blowing up right in their face immediately.
Yeah. When you talk about being comfortable at work, let's make sure we give Anthony Rendon enough PTO. He just hasn't had enough time away from third base this year, last year, the year before that.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah,
that's all.
Give him the 4-day work week.
The missing link. Yeah,
the missing link is fucking Anthony Rendon needs a 4-day work week.
I think we all do. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a really good idea.
Yeah,
you should run for office.
I should.
And
or probably not.
Whole platform would be the 4-day work.
Not
week.
Unless people get real cool with some stuff real fast.
When I was caught with a one-hitter at a Rusted Root concert, I did not serve hard time. Don't woo if you're white. It's always been legal for us.
I think half
John
of this
Mulaney
like
jokes.
podcast is just like quoting John Mulaney, Family Guy, and like Moneyball.
Yeah. Tim Robinson's in there,
Oh,
too.
yeah, and I think he should leave, too. Yeah.
I don't even know you. I'm Flint's grandpa.
Yep. There we go.
I came in here, I just started smashing stuff. Anyway, so yeah, that was the Royals series. I'm glad we won too. We also were facing Bobby Witt and the Pasquatch. We had the all-women broadcast.
Oh yeah,
this week for that too. Which
that was interesting. Like it was definitely. Hey, it's 1 out of 162 games you're listening to this for. Like, I felt like they're obviously knowledgeable. Lana Rizzo.
17-time Emmy Award-winning Lana Rizzo.
Yeah, covers. It's kind of weird just having her back since she was on NESN like a long, long time ago. The kids don't remember that at this point. But the other person they had, I'm forgetting her name, but she's the Portland Sea Dogs broadcaster, so obviously she knows a lot about the team too. And they had on some interesting guests and everything. And every Red Sox player changed their walk-up song to a song sung by a woman, so that was fun.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, somebody tweeted that out. I forget who, but they were at the ballpark and they noticed it.
Wow. I feel like a woman.
Pretty much, yeah.
I didn't mind the all-women broadcast. Like, Boston's a city so steeped in tradition, it can sometimes get really fucking annoying. And I really like the guys. I think the guys do a great job, but I think throwing the women broadcast in there does a lot of good for a lot of people. It switches it up a bit. They obviously did a great job calling the game. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I think we need the variety.
Yeah, I think there are some people that just wanted to hate it just right off the bat, and they didn't even give it an actual chance.
Yep.
And they're like, this stinks. And I'm like, you listen to Dave O'Brien most of the time. Calm down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This stinks.
Like,
I
was like, have you... I had to listen to Dave O'Brien and Kevin Youkilis all last year. That was actually bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the kids might not remember Kevin Youkilis. The media will forget his name.
Yeah.
Yeah, he will. But we had...
NESN's been doing some cool stuff this year. They got the 80s broadcast. They've been, kind of trying out a few more things. So I'm, glad that they're trying something different finally. Because
Me too.
They're always kind of bad since Don Arcillo left, let's be real. And Jerry Remy and Dennis Eckersley. They've been trying to kind of find... who they are since then.
Why? What happened to Jerry Remy?
That one's sad. Yeah. May he rest in peace.
Yeah. Buenos noches, amigos. Welcome to another episode of
Yeah, I tweeted out this week, but it does always still feel so weird when
Yeah.
you don't hear the Buenos noches, amigos. Like, it just feels like there's, like, a heavy silence in the air, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's why you made that the sign-on for the show, Buenos noches, amigos, in memory of Jerry Remy.
Yeah. Yeah, we did it immediately after. Like, that was, like, one of our first episodes, like, because it was right after the 21 playoffs. So, like, it was, like, episode 7, like, rest in peace, Remy.
Yeah, I think I remember that too. Like, even in my casual following in 2021, it's like, that just sucks. He was good.
No, he was great. I mean, he did it forever too. I mean, now we have Joe Castig out of the booth, except for a few times. Yeah, the booth. And Eck wasn't around for the longest time, and Don Orsillo was there for all of us growing up, but. And that's the other thing about whenever you're facing the Padres, like Don is on his A game with hating Nesson, which is hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I love that, and he should.
Yeah. No.
He doesn't need to sign 2 weeks with anyone right now.
No. We should have traded him for him at the deadline.
Can you do that?
I don't think so, but we should anyways.
Did you have any fear in facing the Royals, specifically in facing Bobby Witt and Vinny Pasquantino?
Not too much. I knew if you could kind of hold them at bay, then you'd be, kind of all set. And we did. I think they may have had some big hits here and there. Like
if anyone did,
game.
It was them.
Yeah.
Like Bobby Witt when he was facing off against Crochet. Like I remember Bobby Witt getting good contact with the ball, and I mean, you knew that those were the guys you had to contain, and you did. You contained them well enough, and they still showed up, and they got hits because you knew they would. But you kept them contained, and you kept yourself competitive for at least 2 of the 3 games, and then the third game, I wouldn't even say Bobby Witt broke that open. I'd say May and Hicks lost that game.
Yeah, pretty much.
I
The
almost
bats
said
weren't quite
Alcala.
there, but one of the games of all time.
Yeah, I almost said Alcala because the muscle memory of him being, not good. But that's kind of what we saw in the Royals series for this week. Why don't we go to a quick little ad break, and then when we come back, we'll go over what happened.
Eat
in the
those
Padres
SpaghettiOs!
series. Welcome back from commercials. God, I hope they did SpaghettiOs.
Yeah.
I hope all of the mid-break ad commercials were SpaghettiOs.
I know. I feel like it's probably like an RGN type of thing, depending on like where you're listening to and everything. But I think SpaghettiOs has big ad money.
Do you think SpaghettiOs may or may not be a sub-product of a much larger company that is not SpaghettiOs LLC?
Like, just like it's under the Campbell's like soup umbrella.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Campbell's,
actually-
Weapons was really good.
Yeah. Did they eat SpaghettiOs in it?
I don't want any spoilers, but there's some soup involved.
And is that one of the weapons?
I don't want to spoil anything. It was a great movie. I've seen it twice already. Go watch it. But yeah, there is soup mentioned in Weapons.
All right, bear with me on this one. Hasbro, if you're listening, call me for more ideas. What if you did a game of Clue, but all of the weapons were really arbitrary? Like, bowl of soup in the library.
Wow, yeah, that's... You have no idea how close you were with all of that, but yeah.
Really?
Not really. But,
I
yeah.
wrote weapons, actually. Yeah. It's about my life in the library with a bowl of soup.
Yeah, except you're too much of a weenie to see it.
Yeah, I'm very afraid. I'm a big chicken, but
Yeah.
you know what? Shut up.
Good. Yeah.
Do you realize we made it this long without doing a fit check?
Well, yeah, it's not my best fit today. Christy was making fun of me in the chat earlier, but this is just what I was wearing. So I got some shorts on, Drain the band for people that might know them, and then got a little Orioles here. Cal Ripken on the back. I think he was like, if you were born in like the early 90s, you just loved Cal Ripken.
Yeah.
Like he was just the dude. Obviously, like one of the best shortstops of all time, especially offensively. and just played baseball the right way. So even though it's an Orioles one, I'm glad to wear it. And then I got a little USA baseball hat that I just got on Depop. So I like it.
You love Depop.
I do, yeah.
Depop.
Yeah, that was actually the
Depop.
All right, you're gonna get us sued.
What, by who? Depop or Hanson?
Hanson. Yeah, which owns Depop.
Dude. Imagine.
Yeah,
do they really?
Probably not.
Nah, I don't think so. When you talk about guys who are durable and reliable, Cal Ripken is the most durable and reliable that they come.
Yeah, literally Iron Man.
Yeah, how many years in a row did he win most games played?
I don't think you win most games played, but
you just play the most games.
you just play them all. I think the streak was like what 3,500 games, so that's probably like 16 years or some shit like that.
Jeez.
So yeah. Meanwhile, like I get a stuffy nose and I use my PTO.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. Sometimes I use my PTO because I woke up with a tummy ache and I just can't be brave today.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard. It's the strongest soldier out there.
The guy with the tummy ache?
The guy with the tummy ache, yeah. Cal Ripken, he probably played through so many tummy aches.
I mean, statistically, probably.
Yeah.
Probably at least one, if not maybe two.
If not 100, yeah.
Also, one of the more classic jerseys, like they have the Ripken jersey available at every single store.
I got this in Cooperstown.
Yeah. Yep. Griffey and Ripken are the ones you just see in Cooperstown at every single store. So classic. Good call.
Thank you.
Did you wear an Orioles jersey because we played against Ramon Laureano and Ryan Ahern this week?
No, I actually almost wore a Padres or an Astros one, actually. I mean, and then I was like, well, we just faced them. We're facing them next, so I can't do that. So I just threw this one on because I don't think I've worn it on here yet.
Who do you think is a harder opponent, the Astros or the Padres?
I would say right now probably the Padres, especially with that just insane bullpen that we saw all weekend, just about. So they just really shorten games. They have a good rotation. The offense is pretty good. So yeah,
we had. We faced a really great Padres rotation this week. Obviously, game one is the game all of us would want to talk about because we won that one. That was the one we won. And that was Walker Buehler and Nick Pivetta.
Did not go the way I think a lot of people expected because you came into the game hearing on Friday, like Chris Cotillo put it out, that, Walker's job might be a little bit in limbo, like if he doesn't start like figuring out his shit. And I think, probably Walker knew that to a degree too. So he did the classic video game lean in and like locked in. So
yeah,
I mean, and then meanwhile, like leading up to the game on Friday, people were like, "Oh, Nick Pivetta, blah blah blah. We should have kept him." Rabble. Like he's having such a good year. So I have said it 100 times on here. I don't care about Nick Pivetta at all. Like if we don't trade for or if we don't get the qualifying offer, then we don't get Bregman, and I would much rather have that. So, but it still felt nice just giving it to him a little bit, like 6 innings, 5 runs. So, was not his sharpest self, and we took advantage of a lot of the opportunities, which we didn't do in the other 2 games. But that was a very solid game all around from everybody, including Walker, who pitched his balls off. Yeah,
I thought his approach was really interesting. So he overall went 6 innings pitched, 0 runs, and 4 Ks. So I mean, strikeout numbers are better than what they were, which was like 0 to 2 maybe. But I feel like he's really starting to find himself in like getting weak contact or like pitching the fly ball, and obviously showed results. 6 innings pitched, 0 runs, got a quality start there. A bit of a different approach too in how he was pitching. He was pitching out of the stretch, which, one, tell us what that means, and 2, why do you think he's doing that?
Yeah, so I mean, it just means that he's not doing his full windup. He's, even if there's nobody on, he's just kind of pitching like there's somebody is, just a little bit quicker. I think it's just to find a little bit of rhythm, throw the batters off a little bit with their timing as well. And, it was effective. So it's something that we've seen Bayo do from time to time as well when he's kind of out of funk with everything. So I'm sure we'll see it again next start because it worked.
Yep.
So I think, obviously he earned another one there. I think it's still a little bit of a tightrope because we have seen him, have some great starts and then just kind of go back to kind of. So
yep.
I would like to see a little bit more consistency, and I think, especially now that you're getting closer to October, then we'll see what happens with, everybody else. But, the fact that we didn't really get anybody other than Dustin May means he's probably going to be out there. Yeah.
Yeah, which if he keeps pitching the way that he did, I mean, I feel like especially coming back from the All-Star break, his pitching has been more competitive. Not always excellent, but has been more competitive. He's keeping you in games a little bit longer. I think his sequencing as a pitcher has improved like crazy. Like in the Padres game, he was throwing 2 very effective pitches for the first time through the order, and then he switched to his secondary 3-4 pitches second time through the order.
Yeah.
He was hitting like 96 on the gun, which is better than we have seen him do. He would only throw in that first inning. He would only throw the fastball and I think the knuckle curve. And then the second time through, he threw in the cutter and he threw in like changeup. And I think just really effective sequencing. And if he's finding his rhythm pitching out of the stretch, hopefully those signs are encouraging.
Yeah. We'll see how he does against the Astros this week since he did struggle against them just last week. So you always kind of raise an eyebrow when it's, you're facing a dude again for such a short period of time because, you do see it like times through the order. And then it effectively becomes like, you're pitching them 2-3 times to like 4, 5, 6 times through the order at a certain point. So, I think we get Garrett Crochet, Dustin May, and Walker Buehler again. So you feel good about one of those at least. But yeah, the when it feels like there's 40% of games where it might be a coin flip at best.
Yeah. No, I don't like that. I don't like that.
I know. You wish you just got one more starter. Even if you got even Merrill Kelly and Dustin May, I feel like nobody the Dustin May thing doesn't really matter. People are like, yeah, that's a just body here, but when you don't have that other piece to kind of figure it out, and you do have some of the kids down in Worcester now, especially like in AAA, and Dick Fitz down there, and Hunter Dobbins coming back, and we'll see what happens with Patrick Sandoval and Hunter Dobbins next year too. So there could be a lot of guys kind of in that mix.
Tanner Houck too, but Tanner
Houck's not going to be around until like late next year at best. So if he even is still on the roster, though, if I had to guess for next season, even they're just going to put him in the bullpen. Yeah, just kind of speed up that recovery. Like you don't have to plan on Tanner Houck, but yeah, he's not going to be ready for spring, so he's not in your 2026 plans really at all.
I want a redemption story out of Houck so bad. I've always liked Houck a lot. And it sucks to lose him to Jimmy Johns, and he'll be out next year. And I want him to come
same
back
thing,
with a fury.
Same thing with Whitlock. Like he got injured last year, and then they finally put him back in the bullpen, and like he's been pretty great out there. And I think
top 10 relievers in baseball.
Yeah,
right?
Maybe I haven't checked in like the last week or two, but probably still like top or one of the top
20
guys
for
sure. And I think hopefully he can get that out of him. I'm not even really thinking about it right now. He's just out of the picture for a while. So
yeah. But I'm glad Whitlock looks like his old self again, because when you have to rely on someone other than Chapman, Slayton was the go-to, but Slayton's out, and Whitlock has been showing up. His stuff looks nasty.
Yeah, he got the loss the other night, but like it was from the ghost runner and like a ball that's just like chopped on the infield for a hit. Like. It's hard to even blame him for something like that, especially when it was kind of more the Red Sox problem that game.
Yeah, it shouldn't have become his problem. Like the game should have been over by then. And I'm glad you said that. That was the Giolito start, right? He went 4.2 innings pitched, 6 walks, 100 pitches in under 5 innings.
Yeah, that was his worst start in probably like 2 months at this point. So just his mechanics just looked out of whack. He just didn't look like he was able to find a groove really from the beginning. And it like kind of kept in that game too. Like, we ended up rallying in the ninth, and I think the point I really wanted to make about that game that like felt like the when you kind of like not lost it, but like you could have really made the difference was like the second or third inning when we had the bases loaded and believe it or not, didn't score like any runs on it. So
what?
yeah, I know.
No
yeah,
way.
believe it or not, from the 2020 Red Sox.
Whoa,
yeah,
not the Red Sox.
yeah.
Alex,
That very frustrating game though. Like, I was dozing off near the end. I'm tired of these West Coast games, but yeah.
yeah, who has it harder than us?
I know. Me.
Alex Cora was getting a lot of flack for the way he called the second game with Giolito on the mound. Do you think that flack is deserved? Do you think Alex Cora is impenetrable or worth grace? Talk to me about Cora's management of that game.
Yeah, I mean, you do want to leave your guy out there, especially, since it really kind of fell apart in that last inning or so, where, like, I think 4 of the walks came that inning. So, like, he was doing all right until then, and I think whoever came in out of relief got out of it, too, so I think that's fine. And then I forget who we used to kind of, like, bridge the gap from there, but, you had Chapman for the 9th, and then Whitlock unfortunately got the loss in the 10th, so, yeah.
After Roman Anthony with a big swing of the bat tied us in the 9th, he's trying to get that MVP this year.
Yeah, no, he's at least trying to get Rookie of the Year. But, yeah, that was so impressive just going opposite field off of one of the best relievers in baseball and just staying with that ball, like, deep in the zone, driving it the other way. Like, you forget how young this kid is just from how polished he looks and everything. So that felt like, even though we ended up losing that game, still one of the biggest hits of the season.
And that was Michael King on his first outing back from injury.
Yeah, and we had him on the ropes, like I was saying earlier, and then didn't take advantage of it enough. Yeah.
Yeah. Shocker.
And you knew that you're going to get that super bullpen that game, too, because he was on a shorter leash, pitch count, whatever. And, they just show just how nasty they are. Like, every single dude out there, it feels like they have an under 2 ERA and striking out 11 guys per 9. And it really just shortens games for them.
So, I mean, really glad that you said that, because it kind of brings us into today's game. We did see the super bullpen today.
Oh, there's one more thing I wanted to say from
please.
that game
that
came out
from
today
Giolito's game.
Yeah, that came out from fucking John Boy, of course. So there was apparently this shot of the Red Sox looking at Suarez on an iPad, and it was his stance in a fastball versus a stance in a changeup to see if he's tipping or not, or where he's holding the ball, and people were acting like this was cheating, and it is not at all. This is totally kosher, where teams are able to use their own data and scouting on a guy and use these sanctioned iPads. So they tried to make a big deal out of it when it was just nothing at all, and something that probably every team does. So it just was grasping at straws for absolutely nothing.
Didn't John Boy also release that video of the Devin Williams fastball versus the Devin Williams changeup?
Yeah, exactly. Guys know this. It was such a nothing burger, and it was just if it was any other team other than the Red Sox, then John Boy does not even mention it.
No, not even a little bit.
I wonder why, though.
Yeah, actually, we should all point at John Boy as the person who ruined Devin Williams for all of us.
You know what? Yeah, I'd like to blame him. So I would like to thank him for that, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. I once made a statement that if he sent us a check for $20,000, I'd sneeze in it.
Yeah, you know what? I would too. I would fart on it.
Do you want to do it together?
Yeah, I would.
Do you want Lady in the Tramp?
I would fart on it while you're sneezing on it, so that means your nose is right nearby.
Wow, it's like that old middle school game Suck and Blow, except I'm losing.
Yeah, exactly.
So it is like that old middle school
game.
game.
It is like that old middle school game. But yeah, I ended up dozing off kind of after we tied it up. I was already trying to hold on, and then just another stupid loss.
Yeah, you were a little hunter dozer.
Yep. It was, I think we only have one more West Coast series this year. Thank God.
Yeah, those late starts are killer.
Yeah, it was on the weekend. Even like the ones on the weeknights, sometimes I don't even attempt. But
Yeah. Game 3 was Bayo.
Yeah.
We saw the super bullpen in that one as well. Bayo, a solid enough outing, like 5 runs and 5.2 innings is not great, but the strikeouts.
Same thing. He kind of like started to just fall apart in that last inning.
Yeah.
Because it was like 2-0 for a while, and like, their bats weren't doing anything. But yeah, once that inning started to unravel and we had another bases loaded walk, it kind of felt like that game was getting out of reach.
It was, but 7 Ks from Bayo in this start, and I feel like in all of his recent outings, his K numbers have been up, which is exciting to see that he's getting a put-away pitch.
Yeah, no, it's still, below league average in terms of, like, number of strikeouts and everything, but it's still encouraging to see. There's a lot of looking strikeouts today, which, hey, count all the same, but, yeah, the strikeouts versus walks for him are encouraging, and, obviously didn't go quite the way that he wanted to today, but, between him and Giolito, like, them kind of having rough starts, like, after long stretches of good ones, it's kind of hard to, blame them for too much.
And the reason, we were sequencing from our last conversation and this one, we were talking about strikeouts specifically, and the Red Sox, at least as of the final out today, struck out 13 times in today's game.
Yeah, that's been too much of a problem, and I was hoping that's something at least Massa would help out with, but he's been part of the problem too. So it's been rough. Yeah.
But we got a bomb from Massa.
We did, yeah, we did the other night. I would love for him to actually start to get swinging a little bit, but it's what you're gonna have to start making some hard decisions with the lineup as we get closer on in the year, and the division race is going to be even tighter, and wild card races and everything like that. So, yeah.
If they DFA Massa, which I don't think
think they do, yeah.
But if they would, do you think a team would claim him on his current contract?
No. No.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Do you think
they would just wait for him to be released and then try to sign him?
We would still be on the hook.
Yeah, we would still have to pay him.
Would we have to pay him for the entirety of his contract?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. It's guaranteed money. You agreed to it.
That kind of sucks.
Yeah. That's how contracts work, though.
That's baseball, baby. Yep. I want to see Massa get going a bit more. I like Massa as a player. I think he kind of got the shit end of the stick the last few years.
Yeah, no, it's unfortunate, but we'll see what ends up happening. It's hard to see him on the team next year, so we'll see what happens for the rest of the season at least.
Yeah. But today, the rest of today's game anyway, we were really toasted by the bullpen. Came out throwing 98 sinkers, 99, this and that. We kind of got one chance to take it back from the Xander Bogaerts error. We loaded the bases in the 7th, and then 3 strikeouts in a row.
Yep. No, and you finally get a break with the error against Bogaerts, and he was great against us this series. Scored the winning run the other night, and it definitely probably felt good for him to get a few hits against us and everything, and I'm sure it felt great for Don Orsillo to call a walk-off against the Sox with Xander Bogaerts scoring.
Yeah.
So, it felt like that was your golden opportunity to at least get back in it. Maybe you can score another run off of like Suarez or Mason Miller like later on in that game, and then strikeout. Abraham Toro, pinch it, strikeout.
Yep.
Roman Anthony, strikeout.
Yeah.
Just and you leave them loaded.
Yeah.
Like that felt like that was the game right there.
Yeah, it literally was the game right there. And we didn't show up in the following 2 innings. They had their super bullpen out again.
You knew that you weren't going to score another 4 off of that bullpen, so that game was over.
Yeah, which sucks. You would have loved to see it, but you got to take what you can get. And when the Red Sox don't take what is available to them, that's when they're losing these games. Right now, they are still above 500. They are still in a wild card slot. I think today's loss was avoidable, and that the Red Sox should have just capitalized on their fucking opportunities to win the game.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it kind of feels like you're you're scoreboard watching a lot more with the Yankees and the Blue Jays now, and like it's almost like a pogo stick. It keeps going like up and down, like yeah. But I'm glad we're still in it. Our playoff chances are the same pretty much as like a week ago from this time. And like I was even looking earlier, it's still 78%. So definitely a lot better than earlier on this year when it was at like 16% at one point.
Right.
So, even with a series loss and, more bullshit 1-run losses, like you're not worrying too much at the end of the day still.
Yeah. No, I'm still excited about where this team is right now,
and you have an easier stretch after the Astros here.
Yeah, which I'm glad you said that. So our next round we're going to be at the Astros, and we just swept them. I think we take 2 out of 3 personally in Houston, and then after that we play the Marlins at Fenway, which if you don't take at least 2 out of 3 in that series, I'm going to be mad.
Yeah, no. So you have Crochet tomorrow. You got to win that one.
Yep.
It's going to be a big homecoming for not only Alex Bregman, first time back in Houston, but Carlos Correa, first game back in Houston.
Biggest
too.
Story of the trade deadline.
Yeah, so that'll be kind of cool to see. The games are at least at 8:00, so it's not like it's these 9 or 10 o'clock starts. So you'll be a little sleepy the next day, but you'll live. And
you could also call into work.
Yeah. Also, just sorry.
Sorry. I was up real late last night, not being responsible for coming into work today. Sorry.
Yeah. And then you have Walker and Dustin May in the other 2 games. So you're hoping that you can just win one of those 2.
You're hoping that Walker continues to show you signs of figuring it out, and May at this point still kind of a wild card. You just hope he does well and that he's not followed by Jordan Hicks again.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a peek ahead to our series coming up this week. We also had some promotions this week. Guys,
yeah, one
real
happened
about.
Literally 2 minutes after we stopped recording last week.
Yeah, that was Tolley to AAA Worcester, right?
Yep, exactly. So Tolley's up in AAA now, and you have a really good rotation there now of, Connolly Early and David Sandlin, and you have Uberstein, who's actually pretty good too. So you're actually seeing some of those guys like be put in the bullpen, like Sandlin, who's touching 99 out of there. So I think that shows you what they want. They've been having Tolley kind of on a more of a limited pitch count, so you're kind of seeing them in little shorter bursts. Today was not the best start. I think there was like an error behind him, and he gave up a grand slam in the first and another home run, so it was like 5-0 right out the gate, and then he kind of shut it down and got back into a groove. So not worried about him at all. It was one start, bad defense behind him, so I'm still very excited to potentially see him this year.
Yeah, and you expect that to happen with promotions, right? Going from AA to AAA, there's going to be a learning curve. AAA to the majors, huge learning curve. There always is. You just expect to see Tolley go through some bumps and bruises, and obviously as a prospect, you don't have enough guarantee that it'll even out, but his stuff is so good. He was ranked a top prospect, so you just expect it to be a learning curve, and then Tolley's going to be a killer.
Yeah, no, 100%. And the fact that he's gone from a guy that was like throwing 91, 92 in college last year to like throwing 97, 98 like for us now really actually shows that like we have a real pitching lab.
Yeah.
Like,
and Connolly Early is exciting to have.
Yeah, he had a pretty good start. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but it was like 5 innings, 1 run. Yeah. You have Kyle Harrison, who's also had a good outing out last time too, so maybe see him before the end of the year too. So would like to see consistency out of him too. Like that one last start, great, got good results, but I need to see like a little bit more, like 3 or 4 starts of that in a row.
Who is the other prospect that they had who pitched in the All-Star game that was already throwing 100 down in AA? Is that Clark?
Oh, yeah, Brandon Clark. He's been struggling a little bit since he's come off his blister issue. The control's just been pretty bad. The stuff's still electric, but I wouldn't be surprised if, this is just a learning curve for him when he comes back next year with a little bit more consistency with everything.
Yeah.
And then we have Christy mentioning Campbell good. And that's another point I wanted to make. Thank you for reminding me. I think it's time to call Christian Campbell back up. He's been killing it both sides of the ball at first base and pulling the ball more in the air for home runs. So sorry, Abraham Toro. Thank you for your service, but I think it's time we actually see what we have in this kid back in the majors again.
So you beat me to it. Before we got to our game here. In calling up Christian Campbell, you think the casualty is Abraham Toro?
I just see less of a role for him and then you make Romy Gonzalez that full-time utility player. I guess you could just option down David Hamilton or someone like that too. Yeah. Which, oh my God, that fucking getting stealing the base and then getting your hand lifted up, you can't have that happen. This is why you're on the team, dude. If you're not doing that, sorry, go get consistent playing time in Worcester.
Don't get me wrong. I love me some David Hamilton, but he's been making a lot of weird, oversighted mistakes.
For someone who's so fast, he's such a dickhead on the bases sometimes.
Yeah. Well, for a guy who's also been in the major leagues for a few years up and down, but for a few years, who I thought has shown some pretty solid
I liked him a lot
of
last
baseball.
year. Yeah.
And even this year, he's shown great defense at second base, and then he does shit like that, and I'm like, you know better.
Yeah,
You're grown,
he's
dude.
not. He's just not quite ready yet.
Yeah. Sometimes I wonder if he's overthinking what he's doing. I think that was a big part of Duran's game being elevated too. Is Duran was like, oh, I just fucking love playing baseball.
No, yeah.
And I wonder if David Hamilton, if there's just a matter of getting in there and being like, you fucking love running bases, dude. Get out there and run some bases. And he's like, oh, yeah.
And when, you can't get the bunt down in the 10th inning either, that just, what do you do here?
Yeah. I think Campbell is probably your September 27th man call-up.
Yeah, I would even just do it now.
I don't think you can remove Toro from this roster.
Yeah, you just send down Hamilton. That's fine.
Sure.
I don't care.
Perfect. Yeah, like I had mentioned, I think because Toro has experience in the postseason, they're going to want him in October if they can get him to October.
Yeah.
Which, as of right now, it's looking like they will get him to October. So I think you're right. You got to send down Hamilton, move Romy to second as your platoon second baseman, and then switch off Campbell and Toro at first.
Yeah. Whatever ends up happening, I just want to see Campbell up more than anything.
We already paid him.
We already paid him, and this is your best actual option there long term right now.
Mm. Are you ready for the game?
Yeah, I'm ready for the game. Yeah, we're already over an hour here.
We are. So listen to all the instructions before you play.
No promises.
It is a reverse game. So give me 5 nicknames for the 5 pitchers in our starting rotation, and I will guess them.
Okay.
So don't tell me who's who, but give me 5 nicknames, and I will guess them.
Big Red.
Big Red is Dustin May.
That is Dustin May, yeah. The War Pig.
The War Pig? Oh, that's Garrett Crochet.
Yep, that's Garrett Crochet. I don't even know the nicknames for the other guys.
No. You're making them up.
I'm making them up?
Yep.
Okay.
This is part of the fun of the game.
My twin.
Your twin. Brian Bayo.
Yeah, Brian Bayo.
Yeah, it's got to be Lucas Giolito.
Yeah, Lucas Giolito.
Yep. Unless you were thinking my twin for Brian Bayo, because you are making up these nicknames. So
Ferris Bueller.
That's also got to be Brian Bayo.
Yeah, that's Brian Bayo.
Is that Walker Bueller?
Yeah, that's Walker Bueller.
Okay. All right. One more nickname. Let's see if I can get it.
Jerry.
I think that's got to be Brian Bayo.
Sorry, that one's actually Dick Fitz.
But what? You know what? You're making up the nicknames.
I'm
that
making
was
up
the reverse
nicknames,
game.
yeah.
I guess that's kind of on me.
Yep.
I'm excited for more baseball this week.
Yeah, hopefully it should be a good one. We'll be around this Sunday, but the Sunday after that we'll both be out of town, so probably no episode then.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, guys. I hate you all.
Yep. Okay.
But I love you. No,
yeah.
I love you. Okay, I love you. No, I love you. Bye. Okay, I love you. Bye. Okay.
Enjoy those SpaghettiOs.